Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, by now you've probably seen a lot of footage of the Halo Campaign Evolved demo. So, for this video, I'm going to be showing you guys 10 interesting things that you might have missed in all the footage you've probably seen out there. So, the first one is that vehicles can now be EMP'd. This was a feature that was first introduced in Halo 3 and has been in pretty much every Halo game since then. It's changed a few times of what can EMP a vehicle, but now it's officially in Halo CE, or Halo Campaign Evolved. For number 2, I've actually seen some people ask this question recently as well, but you can indeed trade weapons with Marines now. It's a small little feature that was first introduced in Halo 2, was never in Halo 1, but now it is. You can trade any weapons you want with Marines. They seem to be able to use all Covenant weapons just fine as well so far. For number 3, this is a small little interesting detail that I noticed on the Warthog, and I'm sure like a lot of other people might have noticed too, but the Warthog has some pretty interesting new tires now. More different than any other Warthog we've ever seen in any Halo game. Mainly in that these Warthogs have airless tires now. And what I mean by airless tires is that you see there's holes in the tires. And it's basically like those airless basketballs or airless like soccer balls that you probably see nowadays, like that you can even 3D print as well. It's a very interesting concept, and I guess it's like a futuristic kind of thing, but it's a very new detail that no other Warthog has ever had until now. Now, for number 4, continuing the Warthog, the mirrors, the side mirrors on a Warthog, they actually have real-time reflections. So it's a little hard to see because the angle, you have to kind of get just right. But you can, first of all, you can see like the actual reflections from behind the Warthog and all that. But you can even see yourself in it once you stand just the right angle. See, there it is. There's me looking at the mirror. Now the resolution, or I guess the quality of the reflection, it's not the greatest. It's not super sharp, but it does work, and I assume it's not like super sharp because it's probably very taxing on a system. But it's really cool that the mirrors are actually like functional, like really functional. Even though like you would almost like never see that detail in normal gameplay, especially while you're driving, unless you could like drive in first person. But that doesn't seem to be a feature here. For number 5, wildlife exists now in Halo CE. We haven't really seen yet. There never was wildlife in the original Halo CE. That wasn't until like Halo 2. We might have like some birds flying in the distance that you could shoot, and then a lot of Halo games had some creatures and wildlife around later on. Not too much, but some here and there. But in Halo's Campaign Evolved, the wildlife cannot be interacted with. They just spawn. They just move around, but you can't do anything to them. You can't kill them, you can't shoot them, nothing happens if you try. So unfortunately it's actually really cool that we finally got a lot of wildlife on the Halo ring here. That's always something that really adds like a lot of extra to the game. But it's just this time around, despite it being possible in previous games, you cannot interact with these. So for number 6, when you kill a hunter, first of all, like hunters can bleed now, and you can kill them in a variety of ways. But if you continue to shoot them, like not the armor parts, but their worm parts, not only will they bleed a lot, but a lot of worms will just come crawling out of it. A lot of hunter worms, and if you shoot them a lot, then there'll be like massive amounts of worms just crawling out of them. And they'll just keep crawling for a little bit until they just eventually fade away and despawn. And if you look up close, even like the hunter worms, like on the dead body, they're still like wiggling around in there and moving. And it's actually like really crazy, like being able to like see them. I don't think this has ever happened in any other Halo game. This is probably the most detailed hunters we've ever had. Like even like the small stuff like this. Because in other Halo games, if you shoot the hunters like unarmored parts, they just bleed. But now, a lot of worms come out. And speaking of bleeding, for number 7. So this has been a controversial thing probably since Halo 5. But like blood on enemies and even blood on like friendlies, they've been like toned down a lot, which is probably why Halo 5 and Infinite got T ratings. But now blood has basically been restored to what it used to be in the original Halo CE. Like, this is even more than like Halo 2 and 3 probably. But I'll talk more about that in a future video, actually. But moving on, for number 8. This has been a bit of a controversial one recently that I've seen on Twitter as well. So there used to be a tree here on this path up to the security station facility. And now that it's gone, you can just drive straight up with a Warthog, and there's like also no rocks really blocking the Warthog path anymore. So you can like easily take the Warthog to fight the hunters. But it's been pretty controversial, and like an ex-Bungie dev even like called that out, and wasn't too happy about seeing it. For reference, this is the tree and all the rocks in the background that was originally placed in the path in the original CE. And I mean, it was possible to get a Warthog through, but it wasn't trivial either. You couldn't just drive it right through. You would have to like grenade launch it through or some other stuff like that. For number 9, there used to be a thing in Halo CE where when you fight hunters, no matter what difficulty you're on, you can just kill them with a single shot to the back. And that's because it counts as a headshot on the hunters in the back. And it worked even on legendary difficulty. Just one shot and bam, they're dead. But now, in this remake, unfortunately that's no longer the case. Now when you fight hunters, you can still get them to like charge you and then shoot them in the back, but even on the easiest difficulty, it can still take a lot of shots to kill them. They are no longer one shot kill in the back anymore whatsoever. And you know, I mean, some gameplay changes were of course expected, but I mean, it doesn't really matter anyways, because like hunters, they haven't been a one shot kill in the back since Halo 1. They fixed that in Halo 2. I forgot if it was like officially a bug or not in Halo CE, but yeah, it's never been that way after that. For the last one, number 10, there was a fun trick that people used to do in, well, pretty much in all the Halo games actually, because Halo used real-time cutscenes throughout like pretty much every game. So you can like mess with cutscenes by just placing things like where the cutscene would be. Like if you put vehicles there, if you put dead bodies or like crates and other stuff in the way, and then when you load the cutscene later, it will still be there, and you might get some funny results too by doing that. But now when you do the same thing, I don't know if the cutscenes are pre-rendered. They do look like they're real time, like still running in Unreal Engine 5, but when you load cutscenes, everything is just, you know, perfect in the cutscene. Whatever you left in there is not there anymore. Like the Warthog that I left there, it's gone. But when I come back here, the Warthog is still there in gameplay when I return. Like the weapons, the body, the scorching, and debris, all still there. But it's just not in the cutscene. So I'm not entirely sure how cutscenes actually work in this game. Does it actually like clean up everything? I'm not sure, or is it pre-rendered maybe? I'm not sure about that either. But as you can see here, back in the day, if you put a Warthog in the way of that door, you do get some funny results, and sometimes the elite even gets like splattered when he tries to run out. So yeah, there you guys have it. Those are 10 little interesting things that you might have missed in all the footage you've seen so far of the Halo Campaign Evolved Silent Cartographer demo. So if you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting, as always, make sure to leave a like. Just anything else you think I missed, or any other interesting things that other people might have missed, let us know in the comments down below. But aside from that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!